YouTube, what's up? Back again for another daily fishing video here on Andrew Upshaw Fishing. Guys, today we're going to be talking about BPT anglers, and there's a few names that are not on that list. But hey, real fast, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure y'all do that. It's in the bottom right-hand corner. Hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. So guys, I hinted at it yesterday. Let me just add something real quick. This is 3 days in a row that I've posted a video. I mean, I must be onto something here, but no, I mean, like, I just had a day that I could do it, and I had so many guys asking me to shoot a video on this, and I talked about it yesterday, and I actually had a bunch of the same guys on the list, but I didn't have everybody, and I knew I didn't have everybody, but I also have some other news that I was called about today from a BPT angler. I'm not going to disclose who it was, obviously, but I got a few other things that we can talk about. Kind of interesting stuff going on. There's a big shakeup happening, way bigger than even I expected. Today, we're gonna talk about it a little bit. So, the list that I originally had, and I told y'all guys I had a list. The list I had was Russ Lane, Randall Tharp, Cody Meyer, Brett Hite, Jordan Lee, obviously left, Jeff Crete. And I was told John Cox, and I looked through the list. I didn't see John Cox on the list. I might have missed him, so there's no doubt in my mind that somebody will correct me in the comments below if I did, in fact, miss him. But that was the original list that I had. Those were the guys that were heading out. But I also went through the list today, and the names that I did not see was Cliff Pace, Cody Meyer, Josh Butler, Brett Hite, Mitch Crane, Randall Tharp, Russ Lane, Roy Huck, Tommy Biffle, Timmy Horton, and Jeff Crete. Now, I want to say Biffle didn't re-qualify, so that was one of them that just didn't qualify. Timmy Horton retired. And like I said, I probably missed one or two, but I know that as of right now, that is the guys that aren't on the list. And I know some of those re-qualified, so you're going to have a handful of those guys that decided, you know what, I'm out. So, with that being said, you know, that's a lot of big-name guys. I mean, you're talking Brett Hite. I mean, basically, Mr. Jackhammer himself is not going to be on the Bass Pro Tour. Cody Meyer, I'll be honest, Cody is a really awesome dude. He's one of my favorite people around, and so is Brett Hite. Brett Hite's a super nice guy. I know Brett for a long time, fished U.S. Open against him. I got some funny videos of Brett Hite, too. And not to mention, did y'all see the other day Brett Hite's video? He got hit by a bird. Well, I guess technically he hit a bird with his head and basically knocked himself out. Like, I mean, dude, it was one of the crazier stories I've ever heard when it comes to it's a boating accident. When I saw that he had a boating accident, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, did he flip it? Did he spin it? Did he run into something? No, a bird ran into him. And that's just crazy. Like, I just don't even know what to say about that, but I digress. We'll get back to it. Cody Meyer. Cody fished the Opens last year. Well, 2 years ago now. He didn't fish it this past season because of the conflicts. But I know Cody at that point, he was kind of fed up with some stuff, and I am not at all surprised on seeing his name on that list of not fishing. Cliff Pace, I don't know Cliff very well. Mitch Crane, Josh Butler, Randall Tharp. I know Randall Tharp, Russ Lane. I don't talk to those two guys. And it has nothing to do with the fact of who they are or anything. I've always watched them fishing. I mean, just like you guys have. I mean, I've always been a fan. I still remember Tharp and Matt Herring getting into it on the water. I want to say it was either Norfolk or one of those lakes up there in Arkansas when they're flipping banks. But I was always intrigued by Randall Tharp. He always flips banks with an oversized jig and a big chunk. And it's easily one of my favorite things that he does, and I love watching him do it. Russ Lane has probably been one of the more outspoken anglers as of late against anglers on the BPT. So, obviously, not really surprised there. Russ has been in it for a long time. I mean, and he's been a very successful fisherman, and is definitely one of those guys that deserve to be fishing something. Roy Huck, easily one of the nicest people you've ever met. Roy Huck is, I mean, when I see him, like, I could sit there and talk to him for an hour. Such a good dude. Tommy Biffle, goes without saying, I love Biffle. He and I became really good friends over the last handful of years, especially my time at Jean LaRue. super good dude. Timmy Horton, Jeff Creed. I think Jeff Creed just hung it up. Honestly, I think he's done. I think he's retired. He has a really successful business in Florida right now, so I'm assuming he's just going to go do that deal. But, so I got a call today from a BPT angler. Like I said, I'm not going to say who it was. And one thing that they did is BPT has extended their withdrawal of their money, so they can get their money back all the way till Monday. And from what I'm told is there's actually going to be more anglers possibly pull their deposits and not fish the BPT. So if that ends up being the case, if guys are saying, you know what, I'm done, I'm not really in it, I'm going to head a different direction, you might see even more guys leave on Monday. Now, with that being said, I don't have a single name, not a single name, as to who might still pull their deposits going into the upcoming season, but there's still some grumblings that there's going to be even more. So if that's the case, then where is everybody going to go? Are they all going to sign up for the Bassmaster Opens? Are they going to go to the MPFL? MPFL still has not released their their roster, and neither has the Bassmaster Opens. I know that the Opens, or at least the other day when I talked to somebody about it, they were still not full, and they got into events even after the original sign-up. I do not think that the Opens are going to see the 170-plus anglers fish all 9 like they did last year. I think that number is still going to drop down to that 130, 140 range, maybe even lower than that, that'll fish all 9 trying to qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series. So that goes without saying, but it's a very interesting time right now because you're seeing guys leave. And, I had some comments, and I do want to address something. I typically never talk about comments, but I had to block somebody yesterday who was kind of out of line a little bit. And it just, the fact that you actually have to do that with adults is just baffling. But I had some other comments talking about, MPFL is going to be just absolutely loaded, or the Opens are going to be crazy and all these things. But at the end of the day, guys, the Opens are already crazy. MPFL, I think you're going to get some guys that go over there. I think from what I've been told is there's actually a handful of elite guys that are going to fish both the Elites and the MPFL, kind of like what Patrick Walters has done. So, I think you're going to see some crossover there for sure. But the one thing you're not going to see is the crossover between the Elites and the Bass Pro Tour. That can't happen because they can't fish both. And quite honestly, one thing that's been proven is that they're not afraid to kick people out. Bass Pro Tour is going to cut 35 or 40 guys next year, and the Elites always have their cuts at the bottom end. So you're not guaranteed to get to fish every single year. And that's kind of a scary time when you start talking about guys trying to maintain a career. So I think the whole fishing a couple different series, you're not going to see it as much as you usually do because guys are worried about actually being able to requalify and make it into these tournament trails. With all that being said, there are some other grumblings about some other stuff going on that I can't talk about quite yet, but I'm just going to say I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if you don't see some other stuff pop up in the next 3 weeks probably. I haven't been told I can talk about much yet, but there's definitely some other things coming around the corner, whether it be a tournament series, other kind of things coming around. I wouldn't be shocked if you don't start seeing some things start popping up that'll be really, really good in a positive direction moving forward. So you're going to have to stay tuned, guys. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. And beyond just all the negative things that are going on, there's some really positive things going on too. So make sure y'all stay tuned. I appreciate you watching this video. I try to keep it as brief as I possibly could. But guys, hope y'all enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one.